Man, I think it's the next step up mentality as far as players. Our shifts keep changing. Everybody doing a different role, and so I think we all got the mentality where you give and you sacrifice, and I think that's what y'all see.
The Indiana Fever just pulled off one of the most shocking victories of the WNBA season, and they did it without Caitlin Clark on the floor. With Clark sidelined, and facing a Dallas Wings squad desperate for redemption after a brutal loss to the Sparks the night before, all signs pointed to a disaster. Over 20,000 fans packed into the arena, expecting to witness Clark's first WNBA matchup against Paige Bueckers. Instead, they witnessed something even more inspiring. The final moments of the game delivered a revelation: this Fever team is deeper, tougher, and more unified than anyone gave them credit for. And when Aliyah Boston spoke postgame, 6 words captured the emotional weight of the night and why this win was so much more than just a number in the standings. Fever fans, drop "I've got the fever" in the comments if you believe this team is for real.
Yeah, I think for us it's about knowing that basketball is a game of runs, and they made their run that third quarter, and honestly just continue to stay composed and take it each possession at a time is something that we've been working on, and so for us that was our focus, is get a stop, go down and score, get another stop, and we try to get a kill.
Imagine the buzz. Caitlin Clark versus Paige Bueckers. The number 1 pick of 2024 against the future number 1 of 2025. This wasn't just a game, it was a cultural moment in women's basketball. The anticipation was so massive that the Dallas Wings made an unprecedented move, relocating from the intimate College Park Center to the sprawling American Airlines Center, home of the NBA's Mavericks. You don't make that kind of leap unless you know you're about to break barriers. And break them they did. Tickets sold fast, social media exploded, and the entire basketball world circled the date. This wasn't just a game, it was a chance to show the world how far women's hoops had come.
Finding out this morning that we probably need to hold out again today. It really is a day-to-day thing, and I think for us, making sure that we're prioritizing her long-term health and wellness. It's anybody who's had some of these types of injuries understand that sometimes it's a process. She's a quick healer, and she's been doing everything that she can to get back on the floor. So we just want to make sure that we're hypersensitive to the big.
Then the twist: 2 nights before the showdown, Caitlin Clark's groin injury flared up. The headline matchup, the reason for record ticket sales and massive media hype, was suddenly in jeopardy. Fans who shelled out for the marquee Clark versus Bueckers clash were now facing the possibility of watching without the biggest name on the floor. In one moment, what was supposed to be the most anticipated game of the season turned into an uncertain question mark.
Disappointment for them more than anything, because you want them to see her at her best and us at our best. I hate that for fans, but at the same time, again for us as a team, and for Caitlin as a person and player, her health and wellness is the priority.
And to make matters worse, the Fever were coming off a total meltdown against the Los Angeles Sparks. With Clark out of the lineup, Indiana looked completely disoriented. The ball stopped moving. The tempo dragged. Aliyah Boston, the team's powerhouse in the paint, barely touched the ball. The entire system seemed to collapse without its floor general. If that game was any indication, the matchup against Dallas looked like it would be nothing short of a disaster.
The biggest thing for us is our attention to detail in our screening. We've got to be great screeners. We got to make sure we slow down and use our screen and our spacing. We've had some games where our spacing has been poor, and that has not allowed Kelsey to get downhill, and it hasn't allowed space for Aliyah to get going either. So I think that the 2 most important things for us right now offensively is attention to detail and screening.
The Dallas Wings smelled blood in the water. They'd studied what happens when the Fever lose Clark: predictability, missed assignments, and offensive stagnation. They came in with confidence, expecting to dominate a weakened opponent and make a national statement. And yet, in a stunning turn of events, 20,049 fans still showed up even with Clark's status in doubt. That crowd shattered Texas women's basketball attendance records. The message was loud and clear: the hype wasn't just about one player. It was about the rise of a rivalry and the explosive growth of the women's game.
We'll start Ari today. We'll start her and bring Sid off the bench a little bit. I don't want to take Kelsey out of what she naturally does instinctually on the wing. and overload her from a point guard perspective. So with having Ari and having Sid, they'll give us a couple different looks right there.
The Wings thought they had Indiana figured out: wounded team, weakened lineup, predictable offense. But Fever head coach Stephanie White had a curveball up her sleeve. She shook up the lineup and started Ari McDonald, her first time in that role all season. It was a bold move nobody saw coming. The arena was electric, but even the most loyal Fever fans couldn't have predicted what happened next. From the opening tip, Indiana played like a team possessed. Without Clark, they didn't just survive, they exploded. Ari McDonald brought an energy that lit the place on fire.
Can't finish.
Gotta finish that.
Oh, beautiful pass. McDonald counted in one.
They run.
McDonald took over the tempo of the game like she had something to prove. With the Wings focused entirely on stopping Kelsey Mitchell, their pre-game plan banking on shutting down Indiana's leading scorer, they had no answer for McDonald's blazing speed and aggressive downhill drives. She wrecked the Wings' defensive schemes, collapsing defenders, opening up the lane, and creating opportunities that hadn't existed all season. Suddenly, Dallas was chasing shadows, and McDonald was the one casting them.
Get finished.
As a big, you gotta lean in. You can't be falling away.
McDonald has been outstanding.
And then it got even crazier. McDonald went perfect from the field in the first quarter. Not just hitting open shots, but making the right decisions, reading the defense, and generating offense for her teammates. The Fever couldn't miss. They started the game with 7 straight made field goals, flawless execution at a level rarely seen, especially without their franchise centerpiece on the court. It was the kind of start that turns doubt into belief and flips an underdog story into something magical.
Side can't get it. Lee Yu-Ru can't. Here comes Natasha Howard. 9-0 run for Indiana. Lexi Hull carries the three.
Seeing that
You gotta get out on her, ladies. She's shooting 51% from beyond the arc.
this is a
With the defense keyed in on McDonald's speed, Aliyah Boston finally found room to operate inside. She started getting the touches and positioning that had been missing in Clark's absence. You could feel her confidence growing with each possession. She was efficient, assertive, and dominant in the paint, scoring with precision and cleaning up the boards. It was as if she had been waiting for this exact moment all season long, and now, with the spotlight on her, she delivered like the all-star she is.
Shooting to open the game. The Wings are only 2 of 14. Howard lobs it inside Boston, and Maisha Hines-Allen got lost. Allowed for the easy 2.
and you challenge Natasha, and she's going to get in the paint. And so the defense has to step up to protect the drive, and now she puts that air on the ball, and AB is able to finish that shot at the rim. That was beautiful.
The crowd that packed the arena expecting to witness Caitlin Clark face off against Paige Buchers got something completely unexpected and, arguably, even more powerful. What unfolded was the story of a team discovering its full potential. This wasn't about one star player carrying the load. This was 5 players moving in perfect sync, executing like a championship unit. By the end of the first quarter, Indiana had stunned the entire building, racing out to a 33-13 lead. That's a 20-point margin in just 12 minutes of basketball. Even Dallas fans couldn't help but rise to their feet, applauding what they were witnessing. That kind of respect from an opposing crowd? You only earn it when something truly special is happening.
This is what they do.
Yep. Sometimes you're going to have some back-to-back games. Sometimes you're not going to be able to get in the gym and practice. You got it.
Huh.
Good night.
And again, the veteran schools the rookie.
During that explosive stretch, Kelsey Mitchell found her rhythm, but not by dominating the ball or forcing the action. She played within the system, benefiting from the crisp ball movement and making the most of clean looks. Mitchell dropped 10 points in the first quarter alone, but what stood out was how seamlessly she flowed with the team. This wasn't about replacing Clark's stats, it was about building a new identity. The Fever were playing like a complete, balanced team. But as magical as that first quarter was, the real test came when Dallas started to punch back. The Wings regrouped, adjusted, and clawed their way back into the game. Paige Buchers, rising to the moment, delivered a career-defining performance, 27 points, 5 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, and 0 turnovers, a historic stat line never before seen in the WNBA. She didn't just light up the scoreboard, she put the league on notice.
Just smart player. She reads defensive well. She knows how to pick you apart. And so when you play against her, you have to make sure that you're aware of where she is at all times. And also she does a great job of putting her teammates in great position. So for us, I mean, I feel like it's kind of similar in college and in the league. Like Paige is just playing great basketball and making sure that she sets up her.
With each possession, the Wings chipped away at the Fever's lead until it shrank to single digits. The momentum had clearly shifted. You could feel the tension in the building. This was the point in the game where, without Caitlin Clark, Indiana had crumbled just 24 hours earlier against the Sparks. The ball stopped moving. The decision-making faltered. But this time, Kelsey Mitchell wasn't having it. She stepped into the spotlight with absolute authority, taking control when her team needed her most. Mitchell finished with a commanding 32 points and 7 assists, shooting 11 of 17 from the field. Even more impressively, she did it with poise, making the right reads, creating shots for others, and making it look effortless. It was a masterclass in leadership under pressure.
Every little thing matters.
Mitchell gives it up. Natasha Howard, beautiful shot. Howard with a double-double of 12 and 11. Indiana by...
Aliyah Boston rose to the occasion in the game's defining moments. She made clutch stops on defense, grabbed game-saving rebounds, and delivered big baskets when the Fever desperately needed them. Boston scored 21 points on 9 of 14 shooting, including a perfect 3-4-3 from the free throw line. She did all the little things, the hustle plays, the boxing out, the second-chance efforts that championship teams are built on. Inside that arena, the crowd reached a fever pitch. What they were watching wasn't just a basketball game, it was a war of wills. Two teams refusing to back down, trading haymakers like heavyweights in the final rounds. The intensity was electric, the kind of energy you only get when something historic is unfolding.
Incoming! In! Yo, great job. Okay, great job. We weathered a storm. We found some toughness in the fourth quarter to be able to get stops and to execute, right? We grew tonight. I mean, it really, everybody just good stuff, okay? Good stuff all around. It's a big time win for us on a back-to-back at the end of a tough road trip, so good stuff.
Hey, one more. Coach's 100th.
All right, let's go. Here we go. Together, 3, 1, 2, 3.
In the final moments, Aliyah Boston scanned the arena and saw Fever fans sprinkled throughout the sea of Dallas jerseys. That's when it hit her. This wasn't just a road game, it was a home game in disguise. Those fans had traveled, loud and proud, to support their team no matter the zip code. And when the dust settled, Mitchell and Boston were the ones who sealed the deal. Their late-game heroics closed out a statement win, 94-86. As the post-game questions swirled about Clark's absence, about pressure, about resilience, Boston walked up to the mic, looked straight into the camera, and dropped 6 words that summed it all up: every game is a home game. It wasn't a slogan, it was a truth. That moment explained everything: the energy, the belief, the way this team played like champions.
There were a lot of Fever fans today at the game. What does it mean to you to just have their presence with you wherever you go?
Every game is a home game. I think you see that. People show up, they show out. I think it's great for this league, just people continuing to come to games and watch, because I think when people show up to watch a game, they might have came for one person, but they leave liking many more. And so I think that's the way you look at it, right? You've had this arena that's filled and people are coming in and they're like, whoa, I like her, she's tough. And so I think it's just great.
Boston elaborated further, explaining that Fever fans have turned every arena into their home. Whether it's Indiana, Texas, or anywhere in between, those jerseys show up. The noise follows. The passion is real. She talked about how fans may come for Caitlin Clark, but they leave loving the whole squad. The proof was in the 20,049 fans who showed up that night. They came hoping for Clark versus Buchers, but they left witnessing something even more meaningful, a team growing into itself, stepping up when it mattered, and forging a bond with fans that goes way beyond any one player. They didn't just watch a basketball game, they experienced a transformation.
Likewise, I take pride in wanting to see people I've never seen before. So when you see different players that you admire and they want to support us, it's kind of like, oh man, they actually take heed to what we do and what we bring to the table as a league. Like she said, you kind of like appreciate the fact that people want to watch us play, and it kind of brings confidence to the game, so to speak. So it's a really good thing.
Kelsey Mitchell echoed those emotions in her own post-game comments. She spoke about how the sea of fever jerseys in the stands gives the team a different kind of confidence and emotional fuel that shows up in their play. It helps them attack the rim harder, defend more fiercely, and keep the tempo high. That support, that energy, it's a two-way street. The fans pour their hearts into the team, and the team gives them every reason to keep cheering. Those 6 words, "every game is a home game," became a rallying cry. A declaration that this team isn't built around one star, but around unity, belief, and a connection that won't break, even through adversity. It's a family now, one that's growing stronger with every game.
Did you kind of feel a sense of urgency there that the team responded to, I guess?
Great use of the word urgency. That's honestly been the topic of conversation for us, is making sure that we have a sense of urgency on the offensive end, on the defensive end. And once again, leads did slip away in this game and last game, but for us it's about making sure that we turn that page, we get back the lead, we keep it, we get big defensive stops. And you understand, and once again, it's a game of runs, and you just have to make sure that you have the best.
This win was bigger than just beating Dallas. It was the Fever announcing to the league and to the world that they are built for something greater. With the victory, they improved to 8-8 on the season, now sitting 3rd in the Eastern Conference, just 2 games behind Atlanta and 4 back of powerhouse New York. Caitlin Clark will return soon, but she's not coming back to a desperate squad, she's rejoining a team that just proved they can survive the storm and come out swinging. Next up is the Commissioner's Cup Championship against Minnesota, followed by a pivotal 5-game homestand in Indianapolis. The Fever are no longer a one-star show, they're a rising force. And if you believe in what they're building, drop "I've got the Fever" in the comments. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's coming next. Hit the video on the screen, we'll see you there.